your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt people stand up for something. I haven't even disrespected you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Good morning. Oh, wow. Look at my hair. It's almost like I didn't brush it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mayor in the Morning. Shout out to Mary Jane Murphy, who joined us last night for an episode of Nightmare. It was so much fun. It shouldn't have been fun, but it was fun going over the LA riot footage with her. Not that we were making fun of, anybody getting injured. We just had fun making fun of Karen Bass and her whole squad behind her, watching her speeches and making fun of Gavin Newsom. Just kind of the predictable downfall of Los Angeles. But now these riots are spreading to other cities, even like Seattle, Tampa, New York City, of course. No shock there. Audio is echoing. Well, I don't know what to do about that. How to make it not echo. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? Everything seems to be set up okay. Like you're on a cell phone? Tin can? What in the world? What about now? Check. Check. The sound is bad. Okay. Oh my God. It sounds like a Coney Island's men's room. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Check. Better. What about now? Oh, good. Okay. I don't know what went wrong. What happens is we have to go from the setup, the studio setup for guests, and then I have to switch it when it's just me. Okay, we're back and we're good. I want to talk about a couple things with you guys. I always love when celebrities make absolute asses of themselves, as I'm sure you do. But let's before I get into the Kardashian situation here, I got a bunch of comedy shows coming up. Guys, if you live in Long Island or Ohio or Texas or Phoenix or San Diego, you're in luck. I'm going to be doing a comedy show in your area. Long Island, I'll be at the Brokerage August 8th and 9th. Plano, Texas, September 18th. Massillon, Ohio, October 18th. San Diego, California, October 23rd. Phoenix, Arizona, November 1st. How exciting. Go to ChrissieMayr.com for tickets. Another great thing about all these fall shows is I will have probably reached my goal weight. Right? My voice hadn't woken up yet. I'm having plenty of microwaved decaf. I'm feeling good. How are you guys feeling? Okay. Who knows? I might go nuts tonight and wash my hair. Mary Jane our guest yesterday made me feel better about my hair care regimen because she's admitted to only washing her hair once every 2 weeks. Which is it's a bit long. But you know what? Whatever works for her. Who am I to judge a fellow redhead? This is great. DHS fires back at Kim Kardashian's ICE criticism. Which one of these convicted child enthusiasts would you like to stay? Excellent point. Let's see. Look, it's footage of self-driving cars burning down. Oh, we know BP on the scene. Everybody's seen this, right? It's so easy for the celebrities to say, "Oh, stop the ICE raids." It's so easy for Karen Bass and Governor Newsom to say, "Stop it." Oh, you guys don't have to live in it. You have gated communities, you have full-time security, you have multiple homes. So it doesn't really, I don't know. It's your job to protect these people. Not Kim Kardashian's job, of course. It's her job to look fabulous for as long as humanly possible. A top Department of Homeland Security official fired back at Kim Kardashian on Wednesday. That's yesterday. After the reality TV star, they should have called her sex tape star, described immigration and customs enforcement deportations as inhumane. At Kim Kardashian, which of these convicted child enthusiasts, life enders, and drug traffickers and R-worders would you like to stay in the country? Whew! Shots fired. Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin wrote in an X post directed at the Keeping Up with the Kardashians star. Because these celebrities, these lefties, they're just saying it to kind of fit in with their people, to keep up appearances. They don't actually care about anybody. Their lives are not affected by this in the least. McLaughlin's post included mugshots and violent profiles of 4 illegal migrants recently nabbed in ICE enforcement operations. Among them were Eswin Uriel Castro. What kind of name is that? Sounds like urine. A previously deported illegal immigrant with criminal convictions for child enthusiasm. That's absolutely the worst thing you could do, in my opinion. Being armed with a dangerous weapon. Gerardo Antonio Palacios, a Mexican national with previous convictions for homicide and burglary. Antonio Benitez Ugarte. A lot of hyphenated names. I'm seeing tension in the home. Born to maybe unmarried couples. Another illegal immigrant from Mexico with a prior drug trafficking conviction. Mab Kleb. Okay, that's your parents just gave up on your name. Mab? What's that short for? Maybelline? Mab, a 53-year-old illegal immigrant from Cambodia with a criminal history that includes conviction for possession and transport of a controlled substance, lewd action, more child enthusiasm, disgusting, and battery. These are just a few of the convicted illegal criminals who have been picked up in the last 72 hours, McLaughlin. Good for them. They're doing their job. And guess what? Trump's approval rating is higher than ever. It's, I think it's at 53% or something. Kardashian 44. Wait, this is who tweeted it out? Oh my God, she's beautiful. Look at her. Now I'm listening. Kardashian 44 argued in an Instagram stories post on Tuesday that Americans have to speak up and do what's right. Just let criminals live here and get paid for benefits indefinitely. How is that what's right? That should be going to our poor people in response to Trump's administration and mass deportation efforts. When we're told that ICE exists to keep our country safe and remove violent criminals, great, the Skims co-founder wrote in a post on the 5th day of the violent rioting in Los Angeles. But when we witness innocent, hardworking people being ripped from their families in inhumane... Show me footage of people being ripped from their families in inhumane ways. I'd love to believe you, Kim, but I just haven't seen proof of this anywhere. We have to speak up. We have to do what's right. She added, the LA native said she has seen how deeply immigrants are woven into the fabric of the city. And yeah, a lot of people are saying, yeah, Kim, they're your lawnmowers. They're your gardeners. They're your landscapers and maids. That's why she needs immigrants, so she can continue to pay them very little for work. Okay, here's Kim's post. Yeah, this is her post from her story. When we're told that ICE exists to keep our country safe and remove violent criminals, great. I'm just saying the same thing. We have to do what's right. Growing up in LA, I've seen how deeply the immigrants are woven into the fabric of the city. They're our neighbors, friends, classmates, coworkers, and family. No matter where you fall politically, it's clear that our communities thrive because of the contributions of immigrants. The legal ones, not the ones that are just sending money back home, doing nothing, collecting bennies. We can't turn a blind eye when fear and injustice keep people from living their lives freely and safely. Hey, you know why I kind of don't feel safe at all times? Because there are 12 million illegals in this country. There has to be a better way. Buy Skims. Maybe she wants all the illegals to buy her undergarments. The Los Angeles riots were sparked Friday after ICE agents raided a business in the downtown fashion district. President Trump has sent in the National Guard and U.S. Marines to shield federal agents from protesters as they continue to conduct immigration enforcement operations in the City of Angels. More like City of Illegals. I found this very interesting clip. I found this interesting clip from Tom Homan. And they were explaining, oh my goodness, it's Mark Zart on this wonderful Thursday morning. Coming in strong with an orange boy. Thank you, Mark, for the 20. Good morning, Chrissy, Frank, Baby Frank, Muffin and Waffles. Are you ready for the anti-ice weekend? There's actually going to be one in my town this Saturday. I will give them the one finger wave as I drive by. Oi, Mark, stay safe out there. Don't get yourself mixed up in anything, any shenanigans, but you're a smart guy. I don't think you will. Yeah, I think this weekend, well, because Trump's birthday is on Saturday. Why do I know this? Because my husband's birthday is also this Saturday. They share a birthday, June 14th. It's also Flag Day. So they have been planning this No Kings protest for quite some time. And you know who's championing the cause is none other than Chrissy Teigen. Nobody is surprised by this. She only seems to like come up into the public fray whenever there's something like this. Wow, a lot of interesting posts about Chrissy Teigen. I'll share this just so you can see that she is promoting this event. She's like one of the head libs, I suppose. Chrissy Teigen supporting the June 14th No Kings protest. She's a child enthusiast, posted about little girls, pizza, and was close to Diddy. She tried scrubbing her account. Remember that? Remember when she tried deleting tens of thousands of tweets? But people took screenshots. We love to share something from Dom Lucre, don't we? So here is, because I can't go to Chrissy Teigen's profile. She has me blocked still. She's still upset with me. This is her drawing attention to the thing, the protest. This was an interesting tidbit too. People were wondering if Walmart was funding these riots, the bionic face masks that were seen being passed out. This footage went viral. These bionic shield face masks. They're saying you can't get them in most places, not in bulk at least, but they found out that Walmart has them. And then they dug a little bit deeper to find out that Christy Walton of the famous Walmart family is behind the No Kings mass protest on June 14th, along with Chrissy Teigen promoting it. Very interesting. No Kings mobilize, paid for by Christy Walton. How interesting, huh?
This is wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the Uvex bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk.
That's
but
not cheap.
One place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th. And even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it. And it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers.
Oh yeah, they're taking advantage of it and just passing on, just charging the customers more, basically.
Is it possible that maybe the Walmart family didn't like that and now they're finding ways to make their voices heard? Or is this just a big coincidence? As always, let me know what you think about all of this. Down.
What a great professional voice she has. A TikToker reveals they were offered $200 to join the No Kings protest. Oh, let's see if this is real, if you guys believe him.
I just got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York.
Wow.
The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th, we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions. And they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc.
You know what would be good in this, buddy, as a screenshot of wherever you saw this.
It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's not very American. It's not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, worth the time. But, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest. The corruption is up here because it goes way beyond these organizations. They want to destroy America. And people like me that need money are going to go do it. I'm not going to go do it, but people are going to go do it. They're going to go destroy, the city and cause chaos. It's just crazy that, they're even
because $200 is $200.
Paying people to go do this. It just goes to show that everything we deal with is corruption, and these people at the top level, like, who's paying for this? There's got to be some billionaires paying for this so that, they could try to get Trump out or something. But, $200 a day to go cause chaos is like crazy. Not worth it, but also like really fucked up.
Oh, who's a good girl? Oh, who's a good girl? Oh, it's Muffin. It's Muffin. Muffin, you're licking my lip gloss off. Look at Muffin. She just took a bath. Look at Muffin. Muffin's a good girl. I don't know if you can tell, but Muffin lost weight. Muffin lost weight. Show them your chic body. Can you tell? She smells good. But Waffles tried to come in and she was like, oh, I see how it is. Let's bring up this interesting tweet. You'll get a parasite from what? The doggy licking me? I don't know. I suppose I would have had one already by now. Okay. The real reason behind the LA riots, Tom Homan, who is, I think he's head of Department of Homeland Security, revealed the recent warehouse ice raid that they were all talking about that was in the fashion district that set the whole thing off was the target of a multinational illegal money laundering scheme linked to the Mexican and Colombian cartels. That location is one of many, he says, and they're laundering hundreds of millions of dollars to fund their cartel activities. The Trump administration is going after their money, and that's why they're rioting. Oh, could these people be paying for it?
This warehouse and retail outlet that you served warrants on, the belief is, and the evidence suggests, that this is a cartel-related business here in the United States, that this money, the $80 million that they are suspected of undervaluing, the double-digit millions in tariffs that they are suspected and will be charged with violations on, income tax evasion. You believe that all of that is benefiting an illegal cartel, a cartel in Mexico or Colombia. Do you know which cartel?
No, it's a larger investigation, and this company is one of many that we're searching and gathering evidence on the fact that much of the money in this industry is laundered to Colombia and Mexico in support of cartel activities. We also got tax evasion, and we also got customs fraud. And ICE, big part of ICE responsibilities are customs laws, customs enforcement. So this is one business out of many we're looking at. So it's a part of a bigger investigation. And as we gather more evidence, then we'll decide what we want to criminally prosecute, specifically for.
Now, in front of
whoop. Interesting, right?
This.
Oh, this was so interesting too. Okay, good. It's in the same thread. How exciting. Okay, there was a whistleblower from the inside of Social Security here. Maybe I'll just go basically going into detail about how much benefits these illegals are getting. Let's have a listen.
Wanted us to try to identify them in such a way that they would qualify for long-term Social Security disability.
Like forever disabled.
Yeah. And long-term Social Security disability is for life.
Yeah.
So if they get identified and qualify for long-term Social Security disability, they are as good as set up for life for medical treatment.
That doesn't sound like a refugee to me. Just being honest.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody who's
Must be nice to come to this country and get free medical and free benefits for life. And I guess a phone too. Whew.
Planning on staying here.
Yeah,
a refugee stays until the problem's over and then goes home.
Well, that's right. And so they instructed us to try to get the client, because once they arrive here, they're now called clients. They're called clients.
Okay. Not illegals, because but clients.
Clients pay.
Sure.
See?
Sure. I'm starting to see where this is leading here.
So they told us that we needed to talk to the client and ask them if they'd had any headaches, recurring headaches, or any lower back problems.
To see how disabled they are.
Anything that would qualify them for Social Security long-term disability.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Part of the screening is supposed to be, are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever?
Right.
No.
Okay.
Okay, good. You can come in.
Etc.
You get on the airplane. Are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever? Yes. Good. So we can give you disability.
Correct.
What?
Yes.
This is insanity.
Yes, it is insanity.
But in order to get Social Security disability benefits, don't you need a Social Security number?
Aha.
Well, we were instructed in the meeting that one of the
I want
first
to be
things
disabled.
we were supposed to do was sign them
Just
up.
kidding. No, not really.
Yeah.
Wait.
So they don't need a
This is unbelievable.
Social Security card to get Social
So they
Security
come over
benefits.
here and they get a Social Security number.
Right.
Oh, they do get one.
They become legal.
Correct.
Are you pulling my leg?
No.
They can vote.
And then after we processed them for a Social Security card, then we were to process them for a U.S. passport.
No,
Woo!
you're not.
Wow, seems really easy.
So that's about the time I kind of decided, okay, I was done. I've heard everything I want to know. I was so angry about this.
Wow.
That they would receive a U.S. passport. It just,
wow.
I just
Meanwhile,
couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that.
Meanwhile, people are trying
Social
to get into this country legally for years, doing the right thing.
U.S. passports and free medical, free housing, free food, free everything.
Yeah, but the thing that bothers me, because the food we can recoup from, and the money irritates me, but we can earn it back and we can stop the program or whatever it is. But once you give somebody a social security number and you give them what's considered globally the golden ticket, which is a U.S. passport.
Oof.
Right.
That is beyond comprehension that we're doing this.
That's right.
Do bureaucrats know this is happening?
Well, interestingly enough, no, they don't. A lot of governors are unaware of how many refugees have come into their state.
Really?
Where they're located.
They really don't
what
know.
Conditions they've arrived.
Okay, maybe not exactly
and I
where.
believe this is intentional. Now, we do know that the governor of Texas and the governor of Tennessee have both stopped this, and they're refusing to take any more refugees. In fact, the federal government has filed a lawsuit against both of those states because they're refusing to take any more refugees.
How dare you keep your people safe?
Right.
But okay, so let's just say all the states are saying we want to pull out of this refugee resettlement program from the federal government. Then they're fine, right? There's no other way the refugees are getting in.
Well, no, the state can assert that they no longer want to receive refugees. And then the federal government says, all right. And so then they start implementing a program called the Wilson Fish program. And Wilson Fish simply bypasses the sovereignty of that state. In other words, the state no longer processes the refugees. That means, in plain English, you no longer get to know how many are coming in, when they're coming in, where they're going, how much money is being spent on them, whether they're diseased or not diseased. You've lost all control over the entire situation. And as a sovereign state, you've relinquished that. And so Wilson Fish comes in then, and all of the federal monies that are set aside for this program bypass the state and go to third-party entities. And that would be something like Catholic Charities or Jewish Vocational Services. So it would bypass the state entirely, and they would take over the entire process of processing the refugees.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Oof.
And as a U.S. citizen and as a citizen of the sovereign state of Missouri, I am not in favor of that. I think we need to maintain our sovereignty, just like we would in the United States. Honestly, we are first a citizen of the state of Missouri because we are a sovereign state, and then we're a citizen of the United States of America. But our first sovereignty and citizenship is to our state. And a lot of people don't realize that. So in order for us to maintain the health and welfare and the security of our borders, we must know who's coming and going.
Yeah, you have to.
It seems like a
sick concept. And FUNU doesn't work for me.
FUNU doesn't work for me either.
And giving them a social security number and a passport actually makes this problem worse, not better.
Correct.
Have we been placed at risk? I mean, you mentioned that this is an invasion. Are we at risk?
I believe we are at risk, Josh, because when they come
hide your kids, hide your wife.
To compatriate them with fellow refugees, those who have come in before them. We are urged to locate other communities of refugees from the same country of origin, the same language, the same culture as those who are arriving. And so when they come in, and we have had Syrians come in, and we know Syrians are on the list.
Are you Syrians?
Yeah.
Are you Syrians right now?
Banned. And so we've received Syrians here in Missouri.
Even after the ban?
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Yes. And so these Syrians are coming in, and we know that they are coming from a country of origin that has malevolent intent toward us as
good point from MK Solid. I'm on Long Island. That's where I'm from. And there are Middle Eastern people and Muslims taking over all the old neighborhoods. It's so bad. There's no stopping it. Well, hopefully there is. We got to have hope. We got to do something, right?
As a nation. And we now know they're not being vetted. And we now know that not only are they coming from a malevolent country or a country that has malevolent intent, and we now know they're not vetted, we're giving them support and we're giving them a passport.
What name do they put on the passport if their name on the thing is Funu?
I don't know.
Can they just pick a name?
Wow. Let me rewind a little bit. What did he say about a name?
You know, and we have had Syrians come in, and we know Syrians are on the list of those 7 countries that have been banned. And so we've received Syrians here in Missouri.
Even after the ban?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And so these Syrians are coming in, and we know that they are coming from a country of origin that has malevolent intent toward us as a nation. And we now know they're not being vetted, and we now know that not only are they coming from a malevolent country or a country that has malevolent intent, and we now know they're not vetted, we're giving them support and we're giving them a passport.
What name do they put on the passport if their name on the thing is Funu?
I don't know.
Can they just pick a name?
Wow. Let's bring up some of the comments from underneath this post. Because I'm trying to figure out what this lady's name is and exactly what department she worked for. Not only is it true that SSA is incentivizing people, including illegals, to get Social Security disability benefits, but it's going on for years. Look at the jump in Social Security disability benefits starting in the late 90s, continuing to today. America versus communism. Wow, people tagging DHS to look into this. This whistleblower stated that the UN resettlement program worked with the SS administration to give out SS numbers and passports to illegals. In addition, they were provided with SS disability during their entry interview, and if they respond to having headaches, coaching them, and were medical condition without a medical exam. The UN resettlement under Biden was requiring states to place them in magnet communities of the same language, culture. Well, that's not going to encourage a melting pot. Language, culture, country with free housing, free living expenses. Texas took on a great number of these illegals, UN resettlers, after Texas and a few other states said they would not take anymore. The government under Biden sued those states. The UN resettlement program would then subtract with NGO to handle the process without involving the states, bypassing the state's sovereignty without notifying them or making them aware where in their state those illegals will be placed. All those Social Security numbers and passports need to be invalidated since Biden was not in charge of the country. It was fake, illegitimate administration. Yeah, the auto pen did it. Wow. They all have sudden back pain for life. Yet my husband came back from Iraq, retired at 45 with 90% disability by the military, plus document 10% unemployment disability, made him 100% disabled, and Social Security denied him Social Security disability insurance. How is this even right? He's a veteran who served his country. Does he need to flee to Mexico and come over to say he's an immigrant? Yeah, sounds like it. These are not people who've been paying into the system. They just show up and get so much stuff for free. This is enraging. Look at all these comments. Everyone's so pissed off. We have people with actual disability fall through the cracks because they get denied. What is the status on pulling the plug on these benefits? What about the Social Security numbers illegally given to foreigners? I witnessed this at Social Security administration office during Obama's disastrous reign. This person saying, I had to fight tooth and nail to get my dad disability when he can't walk or stand. They kept denying him for 3 years. I almost lost everything financially supporting him because he physically could not work, and I was not able to let him become homeless. My health declined due to the stress of it all. Wow. Unbelievable. This is what the chief of the border guards testified that he was also ordered to do when hordes of people swamped the borders, and he was ordered to lie about the numbers of people coming across the border, all while leaving homeless Americans in the dust. Who's going to be held accountable? Yeah, we dedicate our lives to contributing to Social Security, yet receive far less than what is seemingly handed out to those who enter our country illegally without any contribution. The disparity is not just unfair, it's unsustainable. Yeah, because how many boomers at this point are what, between the ages of 80 and 65? They're all getting up there. Wow. This is why Doge cut off the NGOs and checked Social Security. Just like FEMA letting hurricane victims live in tents while putting up non-citizens in nice hotel rooms. Yeah, that was used with FEMA dollars. Oh, it's so disheartening. It's really, really heartbreaking. Yep, even more stupid. You pay Social Security your whole life working, but if you did not work in the last 10 years, they don't give you anything? That's horrible. You're denied unless you get a lawyer. John Thomas, thank you for the 10. Thank you for the yellow boy. Cloward and Piven, 2 Marxist professors that came up with the plan to crash the system so it can be rebuilt. Names might be misspelled. Glenn Beck did videos on them. Yes, I have heard of this. I'm sure everyone in the chat has heard of this too. It's a smart group, but American government hates the American people. It's so sad. Well, I feel like Trump really loves this country. I don't know. I want to believe that he wants to make a difference. It's just, my God, there's so much muck. There's so much to pull us out of. Let's share this little clippy. Okay, President Nayib Bukele says the U.S. is too powerful to be attacked from the outside. Oceans and military bases make the invasion impossible, but he warns from the real danger from within. American cities like Los Angeles and New York, once beautiful, now look like wastelands. He says bad policies like giving out drugs, letting people shoplift, defunding police, paying people not to work are wrecking cities. Oh, he was on Tucker Carlson.
The USA is too powerful to be destroyed from the outside. Actually, geographically, nobody can invade the U.S., the United States. Nobody. I mean, even if huge armies will collude and want to attack the U.S., it's impossible. I mean, you have to cross all the ocean, the Pacific Ocean and all the Atlantic Ocean just to get to the shore. I mean, it's impossible, right? And the U.S. has military bases, so it's impossible. So the only way the U.S. can fail, and this is not my my analysis. This was made by presidents before, by U.S. presidents before. The demise of the U.S. has to come from within. Right? The enemies have to be inside, not really outside.
Seems they are.
No external enemy can cause so much damage as internal. It's an internal operation. When you're watching internal operations here, you can see them in cities that were pristinely beautiful 30 years ago are wastelands right now. You would see people, I mean, I'm from El Salvador, a third world country in Central America. And myself, I can see cities here and say, I want to live here. So that would be unthinkable 3 decades ago. Totally unthinkable. That a Salvadoran wouldn't want to live in a U.S. city, in a U.S. main city. I mean, Los Angeles, San
New York,
Francisco,
Chicago. Yeah.
Well, Philadelphia, Baltimore. When you look how the cities are eroding so fast, this has to be by design. I mean, who would make so many stupid decisions? Like, okay,
they know what they're doing.
We're gonna give you money for drugs. Really, they're doing that. In some cities, they're giving people drugs. I mean, they're literally giving people drugs in some U.S. cities.
They just want to encourage more parasites on the system, as if they weren't already kind of that way to begin with. Make them drug addicts. That way, you're giving big pharma business, right? And they're also it's gonna ensure that they stay on government assistance because they're too inebriated to get their life together. So just creating more dependence on the system.
They say, okay, we're gonna give you money if you don't work, or we're gonna, they make all of these laws that make no sense. Or if they have a high crime, okay, I have a solution. Let's defund the police, right? They make this analysis here, and you see all these campaigns, defund the police. You'll see these campaigns of, let's allow shoplifting.
Oh, thank you for the super chat, Junior. Thanks for the 5. Bukele is the best world leader right now. He cleaned up El Salvador, which I thought was impossible. Bukele supremacy. See, it can be done. Good for him. And he's young and good looking, more importantly.
Let's allow shoplifting up to this amount.
Right, like in California, $950
openly. I mean, it's not even a secret. They make it. They make them openly, and we all know what would be the consequence of it. It's like I always use this example. I know the U.S. Grows a lot of corn, but in El Salvador we do grow some corn, and we also grow beans. So I always make the example that you can either plant corn or you can plant beans. It's fine, but you cannot plant corn and expect beans to show up. Or you cannot plant beans and expect corn to show up. So if you plant a defunding of the police, allow for shoplifting, give drugs to drug addicts, give money for people to stop work, what would be the consequence of it? You will destroy the society, you will destroy the city, you will destroy the economy. And it's not only...
You're just going to have a lot of really unproductive people. And chaos.
A logical thing to think, it's already happening. And when they see more problems, they say, oh, so we need more of the same solutions that cause these problems in the first place. And they enact more of them. So they have more problems. And they enact more of the same solutions that cause those problems. They have more problems. So you would think these people, they can be so dumb. Of course they're not. They're smart. They're very smart people. So why are they doing these things? Because it's by design. It has to be by design.
I hate the little TikTok thing. I probably just have to get on TikTok. Suck it up. Okay, wow. Let's go to the comments on this. Bukele's message is for those who are still siding with the danger from within that are wrecking our cities. He's right. You can't plant corn and expect beans. He's a wise young man, all funded via George Soros and others who are hell-bent on destroying America. That's what George Soros said in a 60-minute interview, that his life ambition is to destroy America. Wow. Nations do not die from invasion. They die from internal rottenness. Wow. He's not wrong. Hence what ICE is doing. We opened both borders to the entire world for 4 years. This is by design. People are waking up, not by accident. A lot of heroes from within too. Yes. Okay, that's good. Let's stay positive, people. Here for a reason. They're here for a cause. Unless like the invasion looks like a battle between parties over immigration policy, the invaders are already here and building a stockpile of weapons and ammunition with taxpayer money doled out by sympathizers in the government. He's right. He's right. I like this guy. He's spot on. These people know exactly what they're doing to destroy our great nation. Thank God for Trump and his wisdom to take our country back. Thank you, President Nayib Bukele. How old is Nayib Bukele? I'm going to say, is he 35? Oh. Okay. Wow, he's 43. He looks great for 43. He's got to be moisturizing. Smarter than 95% of our elected idiots. This must be treated like the internal war with a coordinated domestic enemy that it is. Lawfare games and political data are not going to cut it. Arrests and removals of the enemy must happen swiftly and decidedly to win. This guy is saying this? What a guy. Wow. Wowie wow. Bukele. McTwiz. Hello, McTwiz. Thanks for the 5. Much love, Chrissy and FNT. Unlike Disney, Gary actually gives Redhead reputation on his panels and doesn't race swap. Lol. Yeah, I thank God he's not trying to race swap me. What's up, McTwiz? I'm sadly not going to be on FNT this Friday. I have my stepson's moving up ceremony, so I'm going to have to miss it, unfortunately. But it's going to be a good one. They're going to discuss How to Train Your Dragon. I guess that movie just came out. Crumb smite you for 2. I own lots of guns, food, and water. Wolverines! Good to know. I'll have to hit you up if the poop hits the fan. Here's another TikTok. Yeah, this has been trending this morning. Death to America. Isn't that great to hear? Don't we love hearing that? LA protesters, you're being misled by anti-Western lies. Burning your own communities while thinking it's rebellion. Chanting death to America in a nation that grants you the freedom to speak. Waving foreign flags while desecrating the country that protects your rights. This isn't strength. It's tragic folly. Every riot, every looted store, every act of chaos fueled by propaganda only strengthens the right's resolve, birthing more red voters. You're not just destroying your backyard. You're undermining your own future. Wake up. Oh, but the celebrities in Hollywood will tell you if you're not doing something, if you're not contributing to the protest, you're a terrible person. It makes no sense.
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in LA. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the
What does he sound like? He sounds like a famous black actor. Not Samuel L. Jackson. He's got like a lot of moles on his face. Chat, who am I thinking of? This is going to bother me. He's like very wise sounding. Okay, I'll put it back on. You guys can tell me who he sounds like. He sometimes, I think he did the voiceover. He might have been in like Adam Sandler movies.
Greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles on a full-blown fucking tangent.
Yes, he sounds like Morgan Freeman. Okay, now that's cleared up. I'm rewinding it.
Going on in LA. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted. I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break. In Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash, your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 fucking Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the fucking country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a fucking Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally. in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own shit, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support.
It's like a tantrum, and Trump is the daddy.
The protest. Keep fucking going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the fucking balls to move to, and shitting on the system that literally gives you the right to shit on.
Wow.
Someone asked me if I support the.
Oh, look at this comment. This guy is talking like Trump won't have him and the rest of the black citizens working back in the fields. What? What an insanely racist thing to say. Actually racist. But just smart and based. Wow. I think of the economic hitman theory. Pretend I'm racist and want to destroy black Americans. Go destroy your neighborhoods and the businesses that are already dwindling. You must. The result, no businesses, no grocery stores. Allies don't convince others to destroy their own. Yeah, because that's the result of these riots and stuff. The stores move away. You know, after it became really trendy to like loot Targets and other stores. Not only, what did they do? Not only did they put toiletries behind glass and behind plastic, and that kind of de-incentivizes people shopping to actually buy stuff. It's annoying to have to go get somebody to be like, can you get this underwear out of this cage for me? Can you get these socks out from behind the plexiglass? It's just, or the stores just pack up entirely and move out of there. So it just brings the whole community down. Red Lobster's almost gone. See, this is horrible. Can we save the Cheddar Bay biscuits, please? I know you can make them at home from a mix, but that's not the point. They're better there. Oh, yes, we're going to talk about the guy that was arrested. But, you know, while we're on the subject of Dr. Phil, because he had on Tom Homan, here is another one from Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil's gone full red pill. How cool. I love it.
Your eyes don't deceive you, but the media does. CNN's Dana Bash, well, she compares this madness to what happened in L.A. in 1992.
What did happen in 1992 was so different from what we're seeing now. I mean, that was a real riot.
Guess this isn't a real riot. MSNBC interviewing California Representative Judy Chu, a Democrat, who calls this a, quote, manufactured crisis.
Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean? This crisis isn't manufactured. MSNBC's news coverage is manufactured. That's what's manufactured.
You have outliers that throw things and cause damage. And so, yes, the LAPD came in and they called it an unlawful assembly.
She apparently had no idea that on her split screen were burning cars set ablaze by outliers. So while she's talking, they're showing, well, it just didn't seem to go with her rhetoric at the time.
Look so
MSNBC again.
It's actually relatively mellow, even though it might not seem that way. It's like a sort of.
Are you kidding me? How they must not be seeing the coverage that is playing while they're speaking.
You know, another thing that happens at protests like this is that they sort of settle into almost like a celebratory atmosphere.
Celebratory atmosphere. The third one is the charm from MSNBC.
Most of the crowds, again, that I saw, that I spoke to, that I was interacting with, these are peaceful people that want to get their message across. They brought signs. They're out with families in some places.
Great place to take kids.
Yeah.
I don't think so. The headlines, same story. CNN, Trump seizes on Los Angeles protest in contentious use of military amid migrant crackdown. Trump,
like, do we really need the military? Can't our local police handle it? Oh yeah, the local police that we have defunded, and the ones that are still working there, they're too afraid to even do their jobs.
Escalates his battle with California. LA Times. Trump wants LA to set itself on fire.
Okay, Trump wants LA to set itself on fire. That's why he sent in the National Guard to save LA. Sure.
Let's rebel smarter. Well, a little too late to rebel smarter. LA is already on fire. And for what reason? Because ICE made 45 arrests, including a 55-year-old illegal resident from the Philippines. Who was this charmer?
Child enthusiasts.
He was convicted of burglary, sexual penetration with a foreign object, and assault with intent to commit rape. And a Mexican national with a rap sheet that includes shooting up a house and vehicle with people inside, battery on a spouse or cohabitant, willful cruelty to a child, driving under the influence, and assault with a semi-automatic firearm. An illegal alien from Vietnam with a criminal history that includes a conviction for second-degree murder. The list goes on. Look.
Oh, yeah, but Chrissy Teigen and Kim Kardashian will, beg you guys that we need to be protesting Trump and that this is so unfair.
This was not a witch hunt to round up Abuela Maria.
Yeah, they're not dividing up families. They're not like pulling kids away from moms. They're literally taking out child enthusiasts.
It's law enforcement getting criminals off the street. So what does the left do? Encourages everyone to become criminals by blocking freeways, setting fires, throwing rocks, destroying city property, and attacking.
Yeah, Trump was saying they'll get a piece of concrete and they'll split it up into smaller pieces and just hand out rocks to people. I guess the bricks are not in style anymore.
Federal agents might as well hold up a sign that says, "I'm a violent criminal. Please arrest me." And do you think this unrest is limited to Los Angeles?
Nope. It's in New York. It's in Tampa, Seattle, DC.
Your eyes don't deceive.
Chicago. Did I say Chicago? Does anyone feel like Dr. Phil has been replaced and they're using him as a well-known figure to red pill people? Replaced? Riot or peaceful protest? More random footage. Ay. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Okay, a couple more clips. So remember how I mentioned earlier they caught some guy handing out many masks, face shields that were like $60 a pop, and they realized it was being funded by Walmart. Same people who are funding the No Kings March, which is happening on Saturday. Well, they found the guy and they arrested him. This is some good news. Alejandro Teodoro Orellana was arrested this morning by FBI in Los Angeles on allegation of conspiracy to commit civil disorders for distributing face shields to suspected rioters on Tuesday. We're moving quickly to identify and arrest those involved in organizing and or supporting civil disorder in LA. Wearing fatigues is probably so he can fit in or look like a Fed or look like military, so nobody will question him.
To describe where it just feels like something's going to happen.
Look at that. Look at that. Caught red-handed. Here they go.
Waiting for it to happen. And you can look around, you see the National Guard in front of the federal building. But as far as this intersection where we're seeing all this take place, there's no local
They
police.
couldn't have pulled into a corner to do this? You know there's press everywhere. Is this just like an elaborate ad for the UVEX face shields?
To be seen.
Yeah.
And we have people handing out masks and gas masks, and we just saw people graffitiing the sidewalk right in front of this truck, and we've seen people doing burnouts in the street. There's no local law enforcement around.
Let us clarify, because we've been showing a wide shot and from a different angle, a whole lot of officers on the other side of the federal building, almost behind.
You know what they're probably doing too? People are taking them to resell them. They know they're not cheap. Let's see how many of these end up like on eBay or something, or on Amazon. Gently used face shield.
You, and perhaps the visual is obstructed from your point of view, but I can tell you there are many, many, many LAPD cars and officers there that have staged. They are blocking that freeway overpass, so protesters can't get on that overpass like they did yesterday and throw bricks or concrete or scooters down on law enforcement that was below that had cleared the 101 freeway. So perhaps they're not.
Oh, is that him right there?
There's a lot of them
somebody else.
already positioned.
This guy almost looks like he has a ponytail.
They're not getting caught off guard by a crowd gathered here.
So, I mean, that was quite a shot that we have there of these folks, and your photographer just gave us a great shot of the box that was left behind, which showed the brand of mask. I mean, it's not the kind of thing, thank you for seeing this there. It looks like a bionic shield is what that's called. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that you buy in bulk if you don't plan on doing something with it. And the fact that that's being handed out kind of like candy to everybody gives you an indication that these folks probably plan to be here for a while.
Wow. But you know what? They were stupid and they did it out in broad daylight where people could see them. And luckily they arrested this guy. How cool. Bionic. Yeah, No Kings is a gay name for a protest. Okay. Sanctuary state governors testified before the House committee. Tom Emmer just eviscerated Tim Walz to his face. You are an utter failure. You should not be governor. It's time for sanctuary cities. Their time is over. And the American people made that clear when they elected Trump and Vance over you. Remember that? Oh, time for a sick burn.
Work with law enforcement to enforce the law. In May 2020, looting, acts of violence, and arson occurred on your watch in Minneapolis after you refused to bring in the National Guard. Governor, your agenda is clear. Free healthcare, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities. If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime. This is absolutely disgraceful. Governor
like, I don't see a
your
problem with
sanctuary
that.
state agenda has been defined by your utter failure. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty. And most importantly, you have failed the people of Minnesota. The time for radical sanctuary state policy, sir, is over. The voters made that clear last November when they elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. You remember him, don't you? Governor, the time for real leaders and real leadership is now. And with that, sir, actually, Mr. Chairman,
He is sweating. Look at his
I ask
look at
unanimous
his
consent
shiny
to
head.
introduce into the record the governor's tweet that I referenced from May 23rd, 2018, which makes it clear his hatred
No, he doesn't
for
care.
federal law enforcement. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr.
Chair
Chairman.
recognizes Mr. Mfume.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
What's your
I have
response,
a unanimous
Wolfie?
consent request. I'd like to present.
Ay. Okay. I got another fun clip here. It's always nice to see when our leaders get some balls, huh? Why don't you go back to Mexico? What kind of meeting is this? Looks like some kind of a town
I
hall.
remember when I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
And why did you stay in Mexico?
Oh my God, let's rewind that.
Abuse that he he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
Why didn't you stay in Mexico? One more time if you guys missed it. Okay, this is like a school board meeting, I think.
Went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
How funny. You need to leave. Yeah, if it's so much better in Mexico and this country sucks so much, doesn't it seem like a simple solution? The old white woman freaked out. So great. Couldn't have planned that better. I mean, he probably did get kicked out of that meeting. Faux show. Wowie. How exciting. So much is happening. All right. Hopefully the riots will start to die down a little bit. We'll see. Stay tuned, guys. Maybe we'll do another stream. Oh, I believe I have Taylor Silverman on the podcast tonight at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. I will see you guys later. Bye.